Good morning, y'all, y buenos dias. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about my homeschool style and philosophy. So if y'all are interested in that, then keep on watching. Alright, so I have been wanting to make homeschool videos for quite a while, and I just really wanted to sit down and collect all of my thoughts, and I hadn't been able to really do that. And as y'all know, for those of y'all who have been with me for a while, I haven't been able to sit down in my space and record, just because running around with two is so much more difficult than just one. And so I'm finally able to, I have to film so early in order to be able to do this. I wish y'all could see, but I'm finally able to sit down and really just explain everything. And I'm gonna do a series of just homeschooling, just because there's so much to cover, and I didn't want to make one video that would be like an hour and a half long, so that way y'all can pick and choose what segments of it y'all would actually want to watch as well. But yeah, so my homeschool style and philosophy. So as far as style and philosophy goes, it is so inclusive and so combined from so many different aspects, and I think that that's really how it should be as far as every individual parent and every individual child goes, just because everyone is so different. So what works for me and Luna might not work for you and your child, and you have to keep that in mind. It might not work for me and Piyalli later on, and so we really have to be mindful not only of ourselves and our style, but also of our children's learning style, capacity, speed. All of those things play a huge role in the learning process. And so first and foremost, my style is child-led learning, which kind of goes with what it's saying. It emphasizes the interests and desires of the child, and then we kind of mold the learning process around that, as opposed to the other way around. And so this just really starts off everything on the right foot. It just starts off everything with curiosity, with this desire to learn, with this just urge for knowledge, and that's what you want. That's at the core of homeschooling, is to foster that love of learning, to create that fire that really keeps going for a lifetime. You want to create lifelong learners. We're not in this for the short run, at least I'm not. I'm not in this for learning your alphabet, learning how to read, learning math. I'm in it for, you're gonna be 30 years old and you're gonna be digging into new things, because that's what you want. You want something that lights in them that makes them want to learn forever, because you can manipulate and kind of trick people into learning things in that moment, but in order to really create lifelong learners, you need to foster that fire that is within all of us. And children are born with it. Children already have it. It is our job just to guide them in the right direction. Babies love and are so curious and want to find new things out. And typically we're the ones that extinguish that fire and that burn for knowledge. Not even with malice, not even because we're trying to be, just because, you know, we're trying to keep them safe, we're trying to keep them from making a mess. And I get that, I understand that, but it's our job as parents to encourage that learning. Another aspect of it is nature, and so we are super lucky and privileged to live in a space where we have access to nature all of the time. And so we focus so much on being outside, on learning about what's outside, learning all of the aspects of it, but really truly just immersing ourselves in that nature. As an Indigenous person, we have this duty to teach our children about the sacredness and about the impact of our nature. And so that is a huge part of my teaching style, I would say. If y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all see when I post on my Instagram stories of our day-to-day, and that's really what we're doing. I'd say 50% of the time is we're just unstructuredly playing outside, which is super important too. You would think that, you know, they need all of these very structured things in order to learn, but we forget sometimes that we are truly animals, and that we need this unstructured, free-flowing, boundary having playtime. That does not mean let your child loose and let them do whatever they want in dangerous situations. It's just saying, like, if they really want to play in that puddle and there's no like glass or anything dangerous in a puddle, you know, let them play in the puddle. Let them, you know, go pick up sticks. Let them look at worms up close. You know, all of these things are so important, not only for them to learn actual, you know, like factual data that you're able to teach them, but also, like I said, that curiosity, that want and desire to learn. Another aspect of my homeschooling style is practical life skills. And this is something that I think we tend to put on the back burner because we figure they'll learn it, they'll be fine, and then you end up with like 20-year-olds that don't know how to do their laundry. And this is very typical in our modern day, especially in Western societies. We tend to just like, they'll figure it out, and then you have adults who can't do adult things. And so people kind of tease me sometimes when they see videos of Luna like hauling clothes out of the laundry and folding towels and stuff like that, because they're like, she's so little, you know, you shouldn't be making her do that. And it's not, I'm not necessarily making her do it. I'm not like, Luna, go do the laundry, you know, nothing like that. But it's, hey, we're doing this together. You live in this house, we're doing all of these things together. And so if she spills something, she cleans it up. If she needs something, she gets it. Obviously I help her to any capacity that she needs, but like helping her and guiding her to learn these things on her own is more important than doing the things for her. And so practical life skills are at a core of our homeschooling style. Everything from every day we have to feed our companion animals. Every day we have to go water our plantitas. Every day we have to go work in the garden. All of these things are responsibilities that are obviously really important to learn in general, but also gives her a fulfilling sense of like, I'm doing stuff, you know? That's really important. Kids love doing that, especially toddlers. Like, no, I can do it myself. I'm sure y'all have heard that like a million times. And so by giving them these things, they're able to realize I really can do this. And so by pushing a little further with whatever ability they can, obviously don't go make your 3-year-old go cut the yard or anything like that, but to the best of their abilities. And this goes child by child. You have to really like focus on your child, on each individual child, because just because, you know, your first child was one way doesn't mean the second one or the third or the fourth is going to be the same way. And so you really have to focus in and see different personality styles, different ways of talking and stuff like that. And so by really focusing in on that, you're able to teach them these practical life skills that will take them so much further in life. I mean, they have to know these things. We have to know these things. And so it's kind of curious to see how people freak out when they see her doing like adult things, and yet no one freaks out when a 20-year-old can't do the things that they need to be doing. And so we need to keep that in mind in any kind of homeschool setting, or even if your kids aren't homeschooled. I think that is an important thing, that we focus in on practical life skills that they need to learn. And so that kind of encompasses a lot of unschooling philosophy. I don't really consider myself completely an unschooler, just because we do love doing worksheets sometimes. We do sit down and do like more traditional style schooling. And so I fall a little bit more on the structured side of unschooling, in terms of like, we don't follow a particular curriculum. We are very in connection with current events and stuff like that. And so I lead and create our schedule and create our day-to-day curriculum based on things that are happening on a daily basis, based on things that she's interested on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And so that's where I think unschooling is super awesome, and I'll let y'all do research on that a little bit more. There are people who are super scared of it, and I get it. I'm a very structured person myself, and I have my calendar and my planner and like things, you know, whatever. But we do incorporate a lot of unschooling ideas, in the sense that, for example, if we go outside and Luna sees a garfish in the water, she goes, wow, mama, se mira como un dinosaurio. And I was like, Luna, actually, you know, they evolved during this time. And she's like, wow. And so then I go inside, and once I get a little break I'm able to Google, you know, different facts, different, you know, whatever, maybe a YouTube video. And so now we're learning about garfish because she saw one and was interested in it. And I think that that's something that we have to not only apply in that way, but also apply by modeling that behavior. I talk about modeling behavior in pretty much every single video, but modeling behavior is so important because they are seeing you, especially as toddlers. Toddlers just want to be their parents. And so because of the way that Zach and I are as individuals, as lifelong learners, she sees that. And so like if I'm out, I'm like, wow, what's this plant? So I take a picture and I'm like, oh, Zach, remind me to Google this whenever I get back in the house. And so Luna says it all the time. We need to research it. And so that's just something that she picks up from us. And so by modeling that behavior, she's able to concretely see, oh wow, so if you don't know something, you look it up. And it's as simple as that, it really is, but it engages their idea of, I don't know something, but I can learn about it. And that's something that so many adults don't get. Like, we as adults don't know everything, y'all. I hate to break that to y'all. There's so much that we don't know that we can learn. I think people emphasize so much on structured traditional schooling that they forget that you don't stop learning once you graduate. You don't stop learning once you get your degree. This is forever. If not, that is a sad place to be. That is a sad place to be if you think you know everything and you're done and you don't need any more information. I just see that as such a sad, like, lonely, cold world that I don't want to be a part of. Like, I am all about that, like, what's the next thing that I can dive into? And so it doesn't have to be as hype. You don't have to be as hype as me. I get hype about it. But you do have to have this sense of wonder so that your child is able to follow in those footsteps. And lastly, I just want to really emphasize that we should never be forcing our children in any sort of like angry manner into doing things that they don't want to do. Give me you. If y'all hear some strange noises, it's Guali on the side of me. I'm gonna try to hurry up and finish this off before he tries to get the tripod. But anyways, y'all should never try to angrily force your kids into doing stuff, because that is what kind of deflates their want and desire into doing these things. And so you have to really take it day by day. He's about to grab the tripod. Véngase, you wanna see oatmeal baby? Mire, oatmeal blueberry baby. Diga hola, dígale hola. And so really, by speaking to them sweetly, because you want to, like I said, encourage this lifelong learning. It's not about the small individual things, but by really creating people who want to learn more and who understand that they don't know it all. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm going to do a whole series on different like aspects of homeschooling and our schedule and how I create our curriculum and what we cover and stuff like that in upcoming videos, so stay tuned for that. But as always, oh my god, Kuali, véngase. As always, if y'all have any comments or questions, head over to my Instagram. Gracias for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. Boop.